Whoa there, whoa there. This is your man Nico B. This is the Black Effect. You already know how we do things, man. I ain't gotta keep explaining it. Hit that like and subscribe button. You know the Patreon. You could donate to. We finna do a lot more with the Patreon. It's gonna be a lot of more videos that I put on the Patreon. A lot more content that I'm gonna start doing on there, and I'm gonna call it. That's gonna be geared more towards hidden knowledge and knowledge. Awakening the spirit, and definitely waking up the spirit of the chosen people of the Most High, which are American blacks. So let me get into this, man. And I see a lot of videos from men and women. In this day and age, I hear people in the streets tossing around this term king and tossing around the term queen, you know, and we gotta stop using vague terms and really get to the and really explain out like what is a king, what do we entail that a king is in this day in 2019 for black men, and what do we entail that a queen is for 2019 for black women. And I'm gonna just break it down like first, and I don't think we've done this, and first I'm gonna do it for black men. What is a king? You know what I'm saying, for black men? What does this entail? Well, it definitely doesn't entail having dreadlocks. It doesn't entail your skin tone. It doesn't entail your bank account per se. It doesn't entail how you know that you have to have six figures in the bank at the time. It doesn't entail that you have to sleep with a certain amount of women or have a certain amount of women. Okay? So now that we got that out the way, let's get into what does make a king. And number one, a king has to be appointed. A king is never self-appointed. So a king has to be appointed by the Most High God. How does God do that? He raises him up. He raises him up because he sees the man's heart. And I mean, however people, the spirit chooses people. And then he teaches the man. He raises him up. So the man is bearing fruit of a king. He's led. So then this is how it works. Even though no matter how much we want to shy away from this is the perfect system of the household. It's God, man, woman, and child. So you have to have structure of anything to work. You want things to be on one accord for them to work. And so with that being said, that's number one. The number one key. Number two, the man has discipline. This is a man of self-discipline. You don't have to tell him anything. He's already doing these things. You know what I'm saying? You could look at how he is with his people. How does he treat his mama? How does he treat his friends? Is he a loyal? Then that brings me to number three. Is he a loyal guy? You know what I'm saying? Is he loyal to his friends? Does he, what is he loyal to God? You know what I'm saying? If he follows God, is he loyal to him? Is he looking, is he speaking about God? Is he doing the things, that God require? That's a way you can see that. You can look at him and his siblings, his nephews, if he has nephews or something like that. What is he, does he do with them? That brings me to number four. How does he treat his people? How does he treat them? You could look at that and kind of like I said, it brings me back to his mother. You can look at how he treats her, you know what I'm saying? And in turn, that will kind of give you some insight of how you're going to be treated. I mean, does they still even have a relationship? Now, if the dude look and see if the guy has baby mamas. That brings me to that self-discipline thing. Like, if the man got baby mamas and all of that, then, you got to and he not in his kid's life, you got to look at that. That brings me to another one. Is the man honest? Does he have integrity? Does the man have honesty and integrity? Does the man go around, is he a liar? If you find, women already know this, that's a big one for him. If you find out that the man is a liar, why would you even continue to pursue anything with him? Like for me, if I find out you lying about small stuff, you definitely gonna lie about big stuff. You have no problem lying. That's your character. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not with that. The next thing you should look at for traits of a king is the man's endurance. You know, look at his endurance. Look at his, his commitment to things. You can see that by looking at things like his body, or does he, if the man is in shape, it's not easy to stay in shape. So if the man is in good shape, you know that he can commit to something at least, and he doesn't mind hard work. Look at the man's job. If the man, and I'm not talking about how much he makes, just look at how long the man can keep a job. If he has his own business, that takes work. You know what I'm saying? So that's consistency, that he's devoted to something. It goes back to the self-discipline, and that's why self-discipline is number 2. I mean, discipline. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that. That brings me back to this video, that I'm doing. It may be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not even, because I'm doing this, just off the strength of the Most High. I'm not even going to number this, because this is all truth. We've been doing too much vague talking about what's a king and what's a queen. So I'm finna break it down once and for all. So, you know what I'm saying, we can at least know what it is. Once again, because I've read books, I remember when I was in the Salvation Army, I read a book. I've read numerous books. Like I said, the most, the best book I've read about manhood is the Bible itself. I've read some of the Quran. I've read, like I said, numerous books on how to be a good husband, on what the society thinks a good man is. I've read a dope book in the Salvation Army about how to be a man. And what was the tools of manhood and courage, which bring me to another one. Courage is another one. I know don't no woman want no coward in her life. A king, a lion, is not a coward. A king is a lion. Jesus Christ was called the Lion of Judah. You understand me? So a man is not a coward. So that's why I'm saying it goes back to him being led by God, because honestly, in this life, we not promised anything. All of these things that a man are given were given by God. Look at the story of Job. When God took those things from Job, his kids and all of that stuff, Job didn't curse God, because all of those things were given by God. Any good thing that a man is given, he knows that it's a blessing from God, and it's from second to minute. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at it for time, like you can have and hold on to this. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to discipline yourself. Not saying you don't love people, but you have to love things in its proper context. Everything has its context. And a man understands that. But a man does not fear to lose his life. Like Yoda said, you know what I'm saying, in Star Wars, I always like those movies until they start jacking them up. But he had said in one of those movies was like, you have to let go of those things that you fear to lose, because fear leads to the dark side. You understand? So man understands that, and he can put it in his context. He can teach, and he can give his family the proper love and allow them to move in safety. He won't be putting them in harm's way. A foolish man put his family in harm's way. Yes. Yep. You seen on state property. You seen back, and I know stories back in the day. The real story of Mitch. When they kidnapped his son, little Sonny, and killed him. You know what I'm saying? That's because Mitch was deep in the game selling dope to his people. You understand? He put his family in harm's way. And so that's what I'm saying. But courage is definitely one of them. You got to be able, a black man got to be able to step up. He is the lion upon this earth. When he gets aggressive or he starts roaring, everybody stands up and listen. It's like the fucking Lion King. I'm not trying to be, I'm just being truthful. That's just how it is. It's a gift and the curse, because, it can affect the black man negatively when sometimes he's asserting himself. People start getting, or with the cops, if he's just trying to defend himself, they getting scared. A big black guy, oh, Jesus. Now we got to, pull out the whole army. So that's a gift and a curse. But the next one, is, for a king, is understanding. You know what I mean? he has to be understanding, like, of people. He has to, he can't be a bully of people. He had to be slow to anger and understanding. But being angry, but it comes back to being courageous. You have to be angry sometimes. The Lord says, be angry and sin not. So that means you can be angry. I mean, it's a lot of things you could be angry for. It's wickedness in this world. But understanding, though, he can't be just willing to, you do one thing and he flip off the handle, and now you a piece of shit. It's some people who you will do 20 things for, and then you can't do one thing for them, and it should be understandable to them, they don't get it, and now they want to throw you away and things like that. A real king don't do that. He's long suffering, you know what I'm saying? Like God is with the church. He looks at his woman like, God looks at the church. He's gonna guide and teach and nurture and do the things and provide for the thing, for that vessel. But so that brings me to that other one I was saying. When you got with the understanding, he has to be intelligent. Yes, a king is intelligent. Look at the Black Panther. Is T'Challa a nut? Is T'Challa one of these fool running around here talking about, now hold up, man, you know what I'm saying? Now bitch, you better have the money, man. Bitch, you better have this shit. You feel me? Now I need that shit on the third, feel me, pronto, ASAP, time shit, man. Type shit, all that, man. No, he's not. And T'Challa's sister is a brilliant scientist, and all this and the third. A king is intelligent. You understand? A king is gonna speak truth to power. Intelligent man understands truth. An intelligent man, and which bring me to the next one. I'm just gonna keep getting that, rolls me right into him. The Lord is this is on fire with this. He has to be wise. A king is wise. Some kings are wise beyond their years. Like, a person, I give it to some of these billionaire black men you see, like, these men have been blessed to be wise beyond their years. Some of them. Now, some of them are wicked men. But a king is wise. A king is not no old fool. Like, his years are not in vain. His mistakes he's learned from. You can see that. Now, if you get with a guy and he's making the same mistakes over and over and over, red flag, you should get the hell up out of there. That's what you do. Get out of there quickly. If you meet a guy and he's just some goofball Neanderthal who just want to keep doing stupid stuff, you know what I mean, the same stuff that's not intelligent, don't read books much. If you don't read much, you're not gonna get much information. You're always on the cell phone, you know what I mean, you're not gonna get anything from that. You shouldn't be listening to that guy. Get the hell up out of there. And lastly, and I'm just, I'm gonna go back and if this video they cover it all, I'll do a part 2, because I've never seen anybody do this videos to just break down what is a king, what entails a queen. There's just all this vague stuff. So lastly, a king is he has restraint. That's come with self-discipline. Like, a king is not beating his woman. You know what I'm saying? A king is not verbally abusing his woman. He don't have to. The thing is if a king is not compatible, he sees he's not compatible with a woman, or she does things to destroy her image in his eyes, then she just gotta go. It's time to leave. His energy is valuable. His time is valuable. His presence adds value to any place that he's at or any person that he's tied to. So if you don't want any of that, you can leave. Why you dudes chasing, and you see this in all walks of life, these guys chasing behind women, these women, getting them into trouble, like Ezekiel Elliott. These niggas beating they women because they can't, the woman and just set them off so much. That's not a king, man. That's a jester, bro. So with that being said, man, I hope I, gave some insight and hope this video really helped and touched some spirits, man. Cause the next one I'm gonna do is what entails a queen, and this is from a man's perspective. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. So this is your man, Nico B, Black Effect. I'm out of here.